Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to episode 2 of the Teddy and JD podcast. I'm here with my man Teddy. How you been doing, bro?
I've been good, man. I've been good. How about yourself?
Man, I've been good too, just adulting, taking care of these kids and yeah, just hooping, going to practice every day and trying to get back as healthy as I can.
I'm saying though, like I'm just, how is the health?
The health is good, man. Like I'm at about like 90, 95%. I was sick the last couple of days, which kind of sucked right before the Amsterdam game because I didn't have any energy or legs. But other than that, the leg is good.
That's good.
The leg is good. But what about you though?
Hey, same as you. I mean,
Yeah,
other than the basketball side of it,
get,
daddy duties.
getting back in shape or what?
Yeah, I've been working out for the last 2 weeks, so I've been running, conditioning, playing a little bit with the young team, and then held the Suns, 16-year-old, 17-year-old team. So
Nice, man. We can't wait to see you back on the court somewhere. Take your time out. We got our first sponsor, bro. Apparently, a lot of people have problems sleeping, and this is for my Nederlanders that are listening. Able CBD slop strips, great product, Teddy. I'm telling you, it's like a Listerine strip you put under your tongue 20 minutes before you want to go to sleep, knocks you out. You fall in slop, blijf slapen, and voor verfrissend wakker met Able CBD slop strips. You can get it right now on bold.com. And yeah, so let's get to the show, bro. We're gonna talk a little bit about a couple defining moments in our career early on that kind of helped us set us on the path that we went on. We also want to cover the Dutch league. A lot of exciting things have been happening in our league the last few weeks. Some pretty exciting games, some great performances. I know you've been keeping tabs.
of course.
And we're going to talk about the NBA, of course. And we're going to give our list of who we think right now are top 4 candidates for
Most improved.
most improved players. So it should be an interesting show. So let's dive right in. Teddy Gibson. What was a moment in your career that you kind of that you went through, good or bad, that kind of was like, okay, um, kind of maybe changed your mindset or how you go about how you went about your business to try to be the best player you can be or to try to contribute to winning.
I don't know if it was my first year or second year. I want to say it was my first season in Amsterdam. I remember we played in a cup. We played in the cup finals against Den Bosch. The game was in Almere.
Mm-hmm.
It was my second year,
Mm-hmm.
and I remember we played the cup final, and it was they beat us pretty good. I think they won the game by like 10 points. But at the end of the game, the ceremony. You gotta
Right.
come
You
out.
gotta
You
stay
gotta
out there and watch.
stay out and watch. Well, it's
It is
at
painful.
that moment, at that time, we weren't forced to stay out and watch. The team that lost could go to the locker room and change. But
Mm-hmm.
I remember most of my teammates, they all went to the locker room because everybody was upset we lost the game.
Right.
Heartbroken because everybody wanted to win. It was the cup, so
Right.
the final. Well, I remember that game. After the game was over, the fans were still sitting around waiting for the ceremony, and
Mm-hmm.
and I was upset about the game. I forced myself to watch the opposing team. I forced myself to watch them Bosch go through the ceremony of getting the gold medal, and I remember sitting there thinking to myself, "This the feeling that I don't ever want to have again.
Right.
That feeling of getting all the way to the finals and not winning it all."
That is
And
crazy, huh? Like you get such a long season, so much work being put in through practices, games to get to that point, and then it's like when you fall short, it's like damn, like now you gotta wait another however many months, or if you're lucky enough to come back to that same team. So that's cool though. So that
yeah,
drove you to
that was the big like that moment. I knew I didn't want to feel it again. So that summer, I went home hungry and really adamant about not being in that position again. So
right.
since then I kind of let that stick with me
Right.
to build on my career after that, like working hard and progressing myself as a player to where if I was in that position again, I would be able to overcome.
There you go.
What about you?
Well, it was kind of the flip side. It was actually sort of a success story, but like it was within a series. I was actually in Iceland, a little background. I mentioned my time in Iceland the last podcast, and one of the things when you play on a team um, where we had, like I said, Jon was a EuroLeague guy in Iceland. We had myself, who came out of the BBL, and Jakob, who had played in the BBL and all around Europe. There was high expectations, and in that year, we won the Super Cup up there, but then we lost in the Cup final, similar to what you were just saying with against Den Bosch. And so then we got all the way to the finals. We had home court advantage. We had lost like 2 games the whole year, and we were playing against Grindavik. Nobody knows Grindavik, but if any of my Icelanders are listening, everybody knows Grindavik up there. It's a pretty good club up there. They won some things or whatnot. But anyway, back to the story. Um, we won game one, no problem. Go to game two at their place, lose, and then we come back home, and not only did we lose, we got smacked. So guys' mentals is like, no, you know how it goes. Like this season could go from one of being the best ever there to being like one of the biggest busts of all time. You know what I'm saying? So,
Ain't a good feeling either.
and I gotta give a shout out to our coach. Benny was like, he did the whole thing in Icelandic. I was the only American on the team, but I had a translator, and he was like, basically in a nutshell, all he said was like, look, we did this in the cup finals. You guys went out there. Basically, it was like, we can't lose this game. We're not supposed to lose this game. And as your mindset kind of flips, like when you're trying to play not to lose, you know what I'm saying? So he said it like this: it's like, look, there ain't no shame in losing to that team over there. They had the American they had was Nick Bradford. He went to Kansas, fell out of France, or he came from France, excuse me. Great player, bro.
Yeah.
He had like 47 in that game three win I was talking about.
He was good in
Killer.
college,
Yeah,
too.
he was good in college. From Arkansas.
Yeah.
He from Arkansas.
Yeah.
Good dude, coaching. Shout out to Nick if he ever listens to this. But and I remember thinking in my head, I was like, throughout my career, there's been multiple situations like state championships in high school to conference championship games in college to even I wasn't a big part of as far as the rotation. I was playing like 15, 16 minutes in Germany, but even in the semis, like we got up 1-0 and then kind of collapsed. And I started thinking, I was like, he has a point. So we can't go out there scared to lose, basically. And if they beat us, fine, it's okay. They're a worthy opponent. And I had my best game of the series in game four after I went home and stuff. He's like, this dude is right. I think I had like 27-9 game four on the road. And everybody in Iceland thought we was going to lose this game. And then we came back game five and won on the last possession. That was a great series. So, but that just taught me, it was like, we're playing against most of the time other professionals too. And once you get to any sort of final situation, 9 times out of 10, you're going to play against a worthy opponent. So trust in the work that you put in, trust in the work that your teams put in, and then just leave it out on the floor. And
Everything else kind of take care of
take
itself.
care of yourself. Take care of yourself. So on to the Dutch League. It's been a nice few weeks since the last one we had, man. Let's start with Donar. I want to get your thoughts because again, I'm inside the locker room playing on the team, but you being the hoop head and that you are, I want to get your views on what you've kind of seen from us the last few weeks.
The last game that I seen was against Zola, which was to me was a great game for Dona. The team played well. The ball moved really well, but over the last how long it's been since the European season ended? About
Uh,
three weeks, maybe
no,
longer.
about a month
Month.
and a half because I think it was the beginning of December. If I'm not, no, you might be right. I can't
Well,
remember.
anyway,
Right,
with all that
right.
time, the practice in between, you can see the difference in the team.
I agree.
You can see the flow was a lot better, the
I
ball
agree.
movement, the just knowing the rotations on defense. So
Mm,
to me, it was like night and day a little bit. You could tell the time practiced it was needed for the
right.
team to improve, and it looks like it's helping. It looks like the team took a step toward the right direction to trying to progress and become a better team. I
I
mean,
agree.
that's my take.
I agree.
What about you? What you thinking? You
I
in
like
it?
I said, yeah, right, right. No, I 100% agree. You know, and unfortunately, like I said, I was injured. Zola was my first game back,
Mm-hmm.
so I was getting to watch these practices, and you could see the progress being made every day. You could see the intensity guys were showing up with, um, and you could see the that we were getting better, and guys got a lot of pride in that locker room, and it was really similar to the kind of like how your experience losing that cup final you were talking about. I think our guys they really took that to heart, and you got to give them credit for that. Um, and like you said, the ball movement has been tremendous. Not just in that game, but other games too. We've had some. It hasn't been all constant, like great games or whatever. But I feel like we've been building, and I thought Zola was a true test, and
Yeah.
we got guys in that locker room that got a lot of pride, and they were like, okay, this game is against a great opponent because we all have a lot of respect for Zola, especially what they've been doing the last couple of years,
Yeah.
and it's never going to be easy going in there to win. And even though the score showed that, it still wasn't easy. You
Yeah.
know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I thought last game against Amsterdam wasn't our best performance, but there was, guys were in and out of practice all week, and there's no excuse. But I think overall we're headed in the right direction. That's all you could really ask for because it's going to be tough coming down the stretch. We still have the cup. Speaking of the cup, did you see the game against Feyenoord on Tuesday? Were you watching that
The game against final.
with the whole clock situation?
I didn't catch that game
You
because
didn't catch it?
I was watching the. Who else played that night? I was watching the Den Bosch
That's right, Den Bosch.
Den Bosch Lighting game. So,
Yeah, that's right. I heard that was a great game. I saw
but I'm curious.
the highlights.
What happened with the?
Bro, I don't know. Like because this ain't the first time we done had clock issues in Martini Plaza.
Was it the clock? The whole
The
clock shut
whole
down.
clock, bro. The whole thing. All they had was up was the numbers and then the whoever scored at first. And then, do you know we was using the AAU flipboard as a scoreboard on both sides of the court? Professional basketball game, bro. I ain't never in my life seen nothing like that before in my life. Never.
So at what point did they decide to cancel the game?
Okay, so the first quarter we played, but we had like 3 stoppages because there was problems at the table. That because you gotta really communicate what's going on. We had like portable shot clocks at
Yeah, which is
ends of the
normal for
thing.
when
We
that's
had
normal for when the main shot clock break down. You got the little
right, right.
rollouts that you put on
Shout
the
out to
floor.
the shout out to the volunteers who was working the flipboard, bro. Like, you really got to be into the game to be working the flipboard. I was like, this is crazy. I was like, this is how we used to roll in Little League. You know what I'm saying? So, but yeah, it just got to a point. I think it went out again, and they tried like a new cable at the quarter break. And then the coaches and referees they said if this cable don't work, they just gonna call the game. Which to me I thought was a big letdown because we started off kind of slow, and then we we got our footing, and I think we ended the quarter up 7. Kind of like the energy we was playing with a little bit, and even some of the shots we was missing, I thought we were creating good shots. Which again, to your point, what was in the Zwolle game is like all you can really ask for a team is to, in my opinion, is to create good look. Like if I'm ever the coach, I learned this from the great Ivica Skalin. If you produce open shots and you miss, I never say a word. I never say a word. But if we shoot contested shots and bad shots, I jump on your ass. I jump. That's how you put it, but
It's true. It's
facts.
true.
You can't,
That's
you
true.
gonna
That's what I mean. That's what plays are designed for, though.
exactly. So I thought for the most part we were producing
Good
those
luck.
sorts of shots. So yeah, that's what it was. And but it was just a weird situation. But so now we play next Wednesday, I believe, and then we play the return game a couple weeks later. But whatever. Moving on, you mentioned you watched the Leiden Den Bosch game. Tell me your thoughts, because I saw the highlights. Looked like an exciting game. Looked like Den Bosch was going to run away with it.
Yeah, it was a game of runs. First quarter, Leiden played well. Second quarter, Den Bosch. It was going back and forth the whole game.
Right.
Both teams looked, pretty good. I mean,
Yeah.
in the end, it was just mistake here and there, and Leiden made some big plays at the end down the stretch.
I saw Parsons shot at the end. That
Yeah,
was
yeah.
cold
He had,
blooded.
he
That
had a
was
huge shot,
right.
at the end to put his team ahead, which was, it was big for the team.
Yeah. What they were? Den Bosch was up 16 in the third. Is that right?
I
I
don't
think
know,
that's
something of that nature.
something like
Between 14 and 16 in the third, and then I told you, remember I hit you. I was like,
yeah, you
I
did.
turned my head for like
You did.
a second. I went upstairs. I came back downstairs, and it was a 3-point game. So
Right.
I guess like in between that little short time, it was
Right.
only like 3 or 4 minutes. I guess Leiden started playing some really good basketball.
They must have been. It must have, because like I said, I hadn't had a chance to watch the playback because adulting. But
Yeah,
I saw the I saw the highlights, and yeah, they had a massive comeback. But it looked like at first Den Bosch was playing well, and they had been playing really well up until that point. So that was a big win for them. And again, I think those two teams are gonna be right there
yeah,
at the end. And that's again what we talked about in the last episode. I think it's gonna be a really exciting finish for the Dutch league and for fans. So
yeah.
we'll see.
Especially people fighting for them home court, them 1 and 2 spots to
Right.
play home court in that
I
first
think that's gonna
round.
be
So
important too.
yeah,
Which leads me to after that game. I think Leiden was kind of the victim of scheduling here. They had to play
yeah,
Zwolle 2 days later for the cup.
yeah.
That's tough, man. And Zwolle put it on them. I watched that game. I thought Mo Karazi came out with fantastic energy, but just as a team,
Yeah,
I thought he really set the tone when I watched it. Shout out to Mo, but I also think them as a team, they just played with a tremendous force. I think they went up like 16-0. And I'm
yeah.
like,
Before
damn,
Leiden
like
scored the first, yeah,
in Five Mahal, that's
yeah.
tough, bro. That's a tough environment.
They started up super good.
Yeah,
Yeah,
and kind of just took the wind out
out of
of
this. Yeah, but
Leiden's
like you said,
sails.
it don't help that Leiden played
Yeah,
a couple
that's
days before, and then
right.
Leiden plays a style of basketball where guys are playing 35 minutes.
That's true. That's
Five
true.
guys playing like 3 or 4 guys playing almost 40 minutes, and it's recovery time is shorter.
Exactly.
The scheduling is a little different, so
Exactly.
it's kind of hard to, especially when you're playing a top team.
Right.
They come in a little bit more fresh. Again, that's no excuse, but the fact is that's what it is. So
yeah, it is.
that's a
what it
part
is.
of it. That's also the advantage of having a deep team,
Absolutely.
being able to, s- have a longer lineup, a longer, a
Longer
different,
bench. Yeah, I get you.
yeah,
And then they played last night.
yeah.
Did you see that?
Seen
I
it.
didn't see the game because I had my own game, but I definitely checked out them numbers. That boy Montez Walker had 11 threes.
I
Is
seen
that
it.
a record in the Dutch league?
Oh, it wasn't in the Dutch league that. How many threes did
I know Travis Young hit because Matt Williams this year hit 9, but
Oh,
I
he hit
heard
9.
Travis Young hit something like
I think, yeah,
10 or 11. Is it
Yeah.
Travis Young?
Yeah,
Great player for Donar.
one of the greatest players to ever play in Holland.
Right, that's what I heard. The dude was a walking bucket. But 11 threes, bro. That is impressive on any level.
I watched the game, and He was on fire.
He had to be.
But
And they only won
it
by
wasn't-
6. They needed him.
They weren't just like spot ups. Like
They was tough?
He was no. He was going like step back, pull up. It was some of them were off the dribble. So
So what
he was earning some of those buckets.
So what you telling me is I'm gonna have to take a break from adulting today and maybe watch this game back. It was entertaining. It looked like what was it, 98-92? Zwolle got the dub.
Yeah.
That's
But
in Leiden again.
Again, Leiden
And your boy
Leiden were
part-
up like 10 at some point. They were up a nice amount at some point in the third and fourth. But what they had to win by like 20, right? Because
No, this was just regular season.
that was a regular season game.
I think
You sure there wasn't no cup? There wasn't a second cup game.
I'm pretty sure. Now you got. I don't know.
Okay,
well,
well,
you know
anyway,
what? This is
Leiden-
when we need our we need like stat guys or whatever. Somebody in the
Yeah,
background saying, yeah. What? Oh yeah. There was a cup game. No.
Well,
Forgive us. We don't. I thought it was regular season, but if it's a cup, no, it's not cup because they played the first round in Leiden and they played again in Leiden. So the second game of the cup.
Yeah.
Tripping. Yeah. Anyway, great game. Also shows you again what we talked about Zwolle, the bounce back mentality that they have. That's a strong week.
Yeah.
2 wins in Leiden. They're that's championship medal.
I'm pretty sure they felt that loss they had to Donor too, though. I mean, you guys gave them a pretty nice whooping, so that'll snap anybody out of it.
Right.
Top clubs normally
You're
bounce
right back.
yeah,
Right.
yeah.
Right.
And that proves, that goes to show, like, they have the mentality
They
of a
got that
champion.
mindset,
Yeah.
bro. They don't break easy. Which last thing touch on before we get to the league, Feyenoord, our opponent in the cup with the infamous clock debacle last week. They are sitting in the 4th position in the end of January. First of all, you got to give a shout out to Tone. First year there, kind of really turned things around. I think they're 3 games over 500 right now. Their Americans are playing extremely well. But they're 4th, and they've lost 4 of their last 5.
Hey, that's due to that amazing start.
Right.
That's why how you say if you go ahead early, if you take care of work early down the stretch, you can, maybe you're not going out with expectations to lose games, but
right.
if you do lose them, you're still putting yourself in a great position
Agreed.
to be, in the midst of things. And I think,
Agreed.
early on they were playing some great basketball, and right now they kind of hit a little rut.
Yeah.
And they still trying to get out of it, but in the beginning they put forth the work, and those losses it affect them, but they still right in the thick of things.
I'll tell you what, me is like I as a player with Donar right now, preparing for them, we do not take them lightly, especially after what they did to us the first game of the season, first game against them of the season. We know what they're capable of, so I don't give a damn if they lost 6 in a row. We got to be ready to play, and I think everybody in our locker room knows that.
Yeah.
So it'll be a fun week, man. Like playing them Wednesday at the crib. Hope all y'all come out. Clock worked on Saturday, so you ain't got to worry about all that. You know what I'm saying? We're gonna be ready to go. So come out and help us out in that game, Donar fans, because we're gonna need it for sure. And one more thing, Dudley, before we move on, I do want to give a shout out to Weird because they're in 6th place. They beat Leiden, although Worthy didn't play.
That's what I was about to tell you too. Like you was talking about respecting opponents, and,
Right.
Here come Weird in, put a fierce little game together to beat Leiden. So
Hey man, you know what? I heard Parsons got ejected. Didn't see how or why, but I don't really want to talk about the referees. I can't say if he deserved it or not because you could just sneeze the wrong way and get a technical foul or some craziness happening with the refs. But I love y'all. Don't misconstrue that.
no, don't try to
You
get
know
no
what I'm saying?
love
You know what I'm
now.
saying? But I'm sure that had something to do with it. I don't know when he got ejected.
But listen, even that was more toward the end of the game though. That wasn't that goes back to
so weird.
speaking on the short lineup again.
Okay.
Worthy,
it is. Yeah.
Worthy didn't play that game.
Yeah, that's true.
He
That's a
was
big
banged
loss.
up, so he took a game off the heel, and he's what I'm gonna say one of the most important players to the team. So if
Absolutely.
not
Yeah.
the
He
important
is
player to the
vital,
team.
man.
So without him in the lineup, it shortened their rotation,
For sure.
which it does give other players time to step up and show what they can do. But at the same time, it has an effect on the team when
For
one of
sure.
your main guys go down.
But let's not discredit. Although they lost last night in Layward, Weird plays really good basketball.
Yeah, yeah,
In my opinion, I think they play the right way. I think they're really well coached,
I agree.
and so I'm happy for them
Yeah.
that they're seeing some results this year. So on to the league, my friend. On to the league.
Most improved.
You want to talk about the standings first, or I'll just jump right in?
Well, you know what? Let's talk about the standings because some of my most improved is based off standings too. You
Me
know,
too.
so
Me too.
let's talk about the standings of who's in these playoff spots at this halfway point right now.
Right. So obviously the Lakers, after their big win last night, bounce back win
Yeah, I know
on
you
the
had-
road
I
in
know,
Houston.
I know you're excited about
You
that.
know it. Bron 31, 12, and 5. Shout out Bron.
What Harden do? I didn't check. I didn't see that yet.
I think Harden had like 31, but he wasn't real fit. He went to the line like 13 or 14 times. Forgive me, I didn't.
You watched the game yet?
Yeah, I watched the game. I watched it before you got here.
Yeah,
He wasn't real fit. Honestly, they were up like 8 or something like that at half, and then Lake Show just came out and put the clamps on them, bro. In that third, JaVale McGee and Dwight Howard's rim protection is special. All right.
Honestly, haven't much changed in the standings since we last spoke.
Right.
I mean, what you got? Milwaukee in the East. We got Milwaukee at 1, Miami at 2, Boston at 3, Toronto at 4, Indiana at 5, Philly at 6, Orlando at 7, and Brooklyn at 8.
Philly is 6, most underachieving. Don't get me started on Philly, man.
Yeah, we're gonna get into Philly though.
Overpaying.
Then in the West,
Non-jump shooting.
don't talk about my guy
bad,
like
my
that.
bad, my bad.
Don't talk about my guy.
My
like
bad.
that.
All right, go ahead.
We got the Lakers in first place in the West, Denver in the second, the Clippers in third, Utah fourth, Houston fifth, Dallas sixth, OKC seventh,
OKC
and
7.
Memphis in eighth. That's even
Memphis
more
in
surprising.
8th.
That's what I was. Yeah.
Hold up, though. We're going to get to the list, but you see New Orleans, though. They only 4 games out that 8th spot. And you know who coming back this week.
Who coming back?
Zion Williamson.
And they still
Wednesday against San Antonio on ESPN.
They still gonna be
Plugging the league on the podcast. You know what I'm saying? You welcome, Adam
You
Silver.
really think New Orleans gonna grab that A spot?
Bro, if they get healthy, look, we started talking about Drew Holiday, JJ Redick, Brandon Ingram. I'll just say he's on my list. Brandon Ingram, he just put up 49 on the Jazz. Snapped they like 11-game win streak or something.
Now, what we were talking about before the camera came on was volume scores.
Bro, he ain't. All right, we'll get to that later. But the percentages ain't showing here. But anyway, we'll go ahead. Who'd you say at Memphis 8? But I'm saying they 4 games out. Get to your list.
My most improved list.
Most improved list.
Well,
it's actually a pretty good list.
My number one most improved. I put him at the top of my list because I actually kind of ordered mine by how I feel. I got Pascal Siakam at 1. I mean,
It's hard to argue with that.
So you agreeing with this one?
I mean,
we on the same.
Yeah, go ahead. You say your list and I'll say.
All right, then
mine.
I got.
Talk about it.
I got Shea Gilgeous Alexander at 2.
Mm-hmm.
I got Fred VanVleet at 3.
One of my favorite players in the league.
And I got Jaylen Brown at the 4. Now I got Trey Young as my outside guy, but not because he don't deserve to be on the list, because I feel like he gonna be an all. Okay,
He might be an all-star this year, right?
Yeah, I think he gonna be an all-star. But
just
they in
suck,
last
bro.
place.
They got the worst record in the
Yeah,
league.
they in last place. All the other guys are in playoff contention. That's kind of how I drew up my list. I pulled them from playoff teams.
Right. The only caveat to the whole Trey Young thing, I feel like if John Collins wouldn't have got suspended for 25 games,
yeah, they'll be.
I think they may have had a few more wins, but I thought Atlanta would be a little bit better. But anyway, my list, in no particular order, but I guess I'll give an order now that you gave an order. Luka Doncic at number one. We'll go into the numbers in a second. Devontae Graham of the Charlotte Hornets quietly having a great season. And the Hornets are 10th, I believe, in the East. Is that right? Or 11th, but only they're 4 wins outside of the playoff race, but they played 4 more games in Brooklyn. So he's having a great season, kind of out of nowhere. Then I got to go with Brandon Ingram, who you didn't seem to think that was a good choice, but and then I gotta go with Bam Adebayo. He's out there killing, and Miami's second in the East, bro.
He is killing.
Miami's second in the East, which is very surprising.
He should definitely be on the.
I mean, you could, and then my outside guy who knocking on the door, Domantas Sabonis from the Pacers, who the Pacers are 5th, I believe, in the East.
Yeah,
with 27 wins.
They fit, yeah.
And he's averaging a strong 18 and basically 13 with 4 assists. So let's discuss. You want to go first?
Let's discuss the Doncic thing though. Let's start with him because
I'll tell you why after. Go ahead. You said
I didn't put him on my list because I think he's a prime candidate for MVP. And most of the time, you ain't gonna have the MVP, like a league MVP, be a most improved player. Like most of the time.
Now we are talking about Luka Doncic, and you got to throw out most of the time out the window with this dude.
They'll probably get most improved
if he don't get MVP. Let me explain why I put him on there. The man is averaging 8 more points a game than last year, bro. He's also averaging 2 more rebounds, 3 more assists, is shooting 4% better from the field, 46.7, which is a really good percentage for the volume of shots he takes. Now, the only stat he's literally improved to this point in the season every major statistical category you can. The only one that's really not that much improved is 3-point field goal percentage. It's 32.9 right now. It's 32.7 last year. But I think that's just a microcosm of the degree of difficulty of shots that he takes. But again, he's 7% better at the free throw line. And this is the crazy. His PER is 30.1, and last year was 19.6. That's crazy.
But it ain't even a question on.
And they 6th in the West.
If we got him on the list, if
MVP conversation,
if they gonna let him be in the most improved talks, then it ain't even a question. Like,
why can't guys win multiple awards? We have him in our league, right?
Most improved in MVP. I don't think that's probably ever been done in the history of the NBA.
He ain't nobody ever had a season at 20 years old like this man having in the history of the NBA. So why not?
I mean, you saying it based off numbers, or you saying it based off
impact?
Winning? Oh, because the
Mavs are in. They are solidly in the playoff picture.
Agree.
They might make some. I told you they're my dark horse pick.
So what if
they get healthy, and they might if they make a trade for say like a Andre Drummond or somebody like that. Then you could move Porzingis outside. Why not? Play him at the 4 and then Drummond at the 5.
They already play.
But I'm saying though, he don't have to go bang no more. And you got they
bang.
rival. If that happens, then you rival the Lakers rim protection, which I think is the Bucks too, but. You put them two down there defensively. Now that covers up a lot of their problems because a lot of their problems is on that side of the ball.
Yeah, but I told you Carlisle was like their best offense is when they 5 out. That's when Luka is at his.
Okay.
That's when the team is at their most efficient.
But what about with Dwight Powell? Right, Dwight Powell looks like
he can
one
shoot
of the best.
Three, though.
He can, but he looks like one of the best rolling lob catchers in the league.
Yeah.
Now.
I mean, it helps when you got shooters around.
Andre Drummond is a roll man lob catcher on steroids compared to Dwight Powell. I think him and Luka in the pick and roll.
You think Mark Cuban finna max out Drummond?
I don't know,
Yeah,
man. Isn't
right.
he on the last year of his deal? I don't know that.
Yes.
He could be a free agent afterward. If
Oh,
they're
you
trying
saying pick him up and
to
just
chase this chip,
Oh yeah, I agree with that.
chase the chip,
I agree
bro.
with that.
I think they're one piece away from
So what they
contending.
gonna who they giving up though?
That I don't know. I don't because
'Cause
you have to
you can't
match.
give
You have
up
to
none of
match
the
up
shooters.
numbers. You have to match up salaries. You have to match up. I have to do a little more research on that. Adulting takes too much of my time right now,
But just jumping off the top of your head, that they got Hardaway got that big salary.
yeah, maybe Hardaway. I don't think. You give up. You have to give up something or some picks. I don't know.
You can't give up Hardaway.
If you chasing chips, maybe not Hardaway, but throw in some picks, throw in
Yeah.
some salaries to match up. I don't know. Like you have to. They have to figure out how close they are, how close they believe they are, and how much they want to give up to go get that done. And that's just one trade. I'm not saying Drummond's the guy. I'm saying, but that to me, I feel like that's extremely intriguing because when I look at Doncic in the pick and roll, this dude is surgical.
Yeah, man.
And yeah, and if you coming off helping, Andre Drummond would love to go up and catch some lives, bro.
Yeah,
and he's really.
I ain't saying he'll be.
I would love. I would love to see that dance.
Yeah,
but you know, that's
I don't
just
think
one
they
thing.
can pull that off. But
We'll see.
That would be
The
a great-
deadline is the 6th. It's coming up. I can't wait. I got my popcorn ready.
You seen?
You know what I'm saying?
Portland traded.
Did I miss
left
a
hand.
trade?
Portland traded left. What's the left hand guy name? The shooter came from. They just picked him up this past season. Bazemore.
He got traded?
Yeah. He
When? Last night?
Bazemore. Where is where old boy used
Hit the
for
net,
Trevor
bro.
Ariza?
For real? To the Kings?
Yeah, Trevor. Yeah.
They,
Bazemore.
that just happened last night?
I think.
So
it
you know
happened
what? I
a
didn't
couple-
get on
Yeah.
ESPN because he just played against the Mavs.
Yeah, I thought that's a good trade for Portland.
I do too.
Portland
They need he's a solid 3-and-D guy, a vet. He ain't gonna do nothing crazy.
gonna knock down open
Threes,
shot.
yeah, that's a good trade. But I didn't know it because I don't like to look at scores or nothing until I watch Bronny and the Kings play.
Yeah, man.
I'm still watching Harrison Barnes, although it's like watching paint.
That's why I
dry.
said you think New Orleans
Kings.
gonna get that A spot. What about Portland?
Okay, let's talk about Brandon Ingram. All right.
Oh, yeah,
Why
yeah.
he was on my most improved.
Why is he on your most improved? He was getting buckets in L.A.
He was 18.3 at LA.
Yeah,
This
he
year
did
he's
make it.
25.8. He's
Huge
6.8 boards compared to 5.1 last year. Not a huge jump, but okay. 4.3 assists compared to 3. Also not a huge jump because I would classify him as an ISO guy, kind of a ball
Yeah.
stopper.
Yeah,
Not
he
my
is.
favorite type of player, as you know.
Yeah, he is.
Um,
ISO guy.
But he's shooting 41% from 3 compared to 33% last year. He's shooting 48% from the field. He was shooting better last year, but this year he's shooting more attempts. Did I make that right? Yeah.
Yeah.
And he's playing the 4, and he's playing around the same time. Another big glaring stat, he's shooting 86% from the free throw line compared to 67.5 last year.
It's up almost
PER.
20%.
Yeah. 21.7 PER compared to 13.4. And as many injuries as the New Orleans Pelicans have had, and you know injuries can derail seasons. I mean, and they're getting Zion back. They're only 4 games out, bro. There's still half a season left or something like that. They could go on a run. You talking about?
They
They don't play no defense.
They
though.
young.
They don't play any defense. But their pace, though, they're one of the fastest paced teams in the league. Highly entertaining.
That's under that Mike D'Antoni.
Lonzo
and,
Ball's quietly putting together a decent year
Yeah.
too. He's been
I
picking
thought
it
about
up.
putting him on there, but his numbers
They're not great. I also thought
not
about
that they're bad. They're just like
they're not
they're
this
average.
level.
They're almost where they were when he first got in the league. Like,
Right.
Not they're good. They're solid, but not like these guys. Big John that's a huge jump. He can be on the list, but again, I pick most of my guys off playoffs because if you don't pick none playoff players.
But they ain't, that's why
My man Trey
bro,
Young.
Trey Young has no chance to go on the play. You mean to tell me you don't think there's any chance that these dudes can make up 4 games with like 30 games left? That's a possibility. Trey Young, they got like 9 wins or something.
All I'm saying is we talked about young. You said 20-year-olds with amazing
Bro,
numbers.
I'm not saying Trey. I'm with you on that. Trey Young. Trey Young is having an unbelievable season individually, and he's fun as hell to watch. He's on
29.
If I wasn't adulting, he'd be a nightly watch, bro. For real, like straight up. But Brandon Ingram, they have a shot now, and like I said again, ladies and gentlemen, word on the street is Zion Williamson coming back Wednesday night against the Spurs on
Why
ESPN.
he keep talking about Zion? What
What?
about Drew Holiday?
Okay, obviously Drew Holiday coming back helps too, but Zion Williamson, come on, dog.
You think
He's the most anticipated rookie since Bron.
Oh, you saying because he anticipated, but you not really talking
But
about
okay.
Are you saying impact to the team? Like he
Bro, did you see his preseason? If he has anything close to the preseason numbers he was putting up, then yes, he's gonna have an impact on them winning games.
something to look for, guys.
Yes, sir.
I ain't buying it.
Well, we gonna see.
I don't think.
I'm
I
just
think
saying
he gonna. I
there's
think
a chance there.
He
There's
gonna
a
have
chance
his.
there.
He's gonna have numbers. He'll get them numbers that we're talking about that he had in preseason. But what will what will your man Brandon Ingram do? What his numbers
that's
gonna
good.
do?
Yeah, exactly. That remains to be seen. So they're gonna have to integrate that. I think he'll probably move back to the 3. Obviously, he won't be getting so many. I would assume ISO, but Zion ain't really no ISO type of dude. So I still feel like they're gonna play through Brandon quite a bit. I think he's gonna get his opportunities, but we'll see. It remains to be seen. I'm just saying there is an opportunity there for New Orleans to really pick it up, get their chemistry going, and make up that ground. Because I'm not buying Memphis playing at this level for the rest of the year.
I'm not buying Portland playing at this level for
but
the rest of
Portland ain't in the playoff race. Well, I think they're like 10th or 11th
They
right now.
ahead of what?
No.
They're
Whoa,
ahead-
they, look, go look. Check it out.
They're ahead of New Orleans.
But how much? Let's see.
It don't matter. They're ahead of New Orleans. They're in 10th spot.
Yeah, they're 2 games out.
Two
But they're all by
games
2
out.
games. They ain't like
So
2
who's
games.
more likely to make a run, Portland or New Orleans?
Man, I don't know.
They ain't what's the big guy from
Nurkic?
He's
coming back.
And they got Trevor.
Exciting times, ladies and gentlemen. Get your popcorn ready. But let me go to my guy Devontae Graham. This is a great story to me. Second round pick.
Was he second round?
Second round pick, 34th, out of Kansas.
Yeah.
He's averaging 18.7 a game this year. Not shooting a great percentage at 37.8, but also dropping 7.7 dimes. That's pretty good. 3.7 boards. And he's also shooting 38.7 from 3, 82.5 from the line. 16.5 PER, which that's solid. But when you compare it to his numbers last year, 4.7 points per game, 2.6 assists, 1.4 rebounds, shot 34% from the field, and 28 from 3, and 76 from the line, 10.3 PER. He's playing 20 more minutes per game, which obviously any player that gets that sort of jump in minutes, your numbers are going to go up, but that's a serious increase in production.
Yeah.
The Hornets aren't terrible. They could potentially, again, they make a run. It's unlikely. I'm not saying they're going to be in the
it's about as unlikely as New Orleans.
You just hating on New Orleans. This dude hating on New Orleans.
Without
you know what? I hope somebody from New Orleans.
I'm from
Louisiana. Is he out for the
Louisiana.
season or something?
What I'm saying is without. I'm saying that they can't make a legitimate run without Drew Holiday being back in the lineup.
Okay, well, Drew Holiday is probably gonna. I don't know what injury he has, but he gonna come back. I ain't heard he out for the season. But anyway,
he ain't out for the season.
You taking the shine away from Devontae, bro. Look, the biggest thing about this though is the Charlotte Hornets desperately needed some value from a lower pick. And if he can continue this, now obviously this is most improved, but if he becomes a foundational piece for them moving forward, obviously you have like Miles Bridges, you have a couple other intrigue. What's the boy from Kentucky, Malik Monk? He has been a complete flop to me. I thought he was going to be a much better pro.
I did too.
Than he's shown. Um, Michael Kidd Gilchrist just fell off the map. So getting a guy out of the draft that you developed, producing like this, they signed Scary Terry, who's been, he's averaging around 18. I think you can fact check me on that too.
Yeah, they about to.
I didn't look that up, but I think he's around that. But he's not having a
The year
superstar
we
caliber.
expected.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying. So I think this is a really good situation for the Hornets that they have potentially a foundational piece moving forward that they could not necessarily build around, but you still got to keep trying to get that guy that you can build around. But he's a guy that you can piece with a potential franchise player, however they get him. I don't think Charlotte's a free agency destination, so they're gonna have to build through the draft and stuff like that.
What do they do about him and Scary Terry? Pretty much
Similar.
Yeah,
That's what. Yeah.
I'm saying they really good players, but I'm talking size wise.
Yeah.
They starting both, or I think they starting both of them now.
Yeah, that's a great.
But the
question.
league is kind of moving in the direction of small guards.
And good basketball player.
Yeah.
I think you have to be a good basketball player. These like I said, look, that's what I mean. You're making great points. My point is he's on a great salary, and I think he's only in his second year, so he's probably going to be on his rookie deal for another 1 to 2 years or whatever. I don't know his contract situation, but I think most rookie deals are 4 years. And with this sort of production, it helps you potentially build into at least a playoff contender.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You got Nicholas Batum what's he making this year? Like 30+ million.
That's what's hurt. I think that's what's hurting them. That's what's hurting them. They can't.
They made some.
He's not producing at the production they expected from him, and with that contract, there's no way they can get off of that contract.
And would you have? I wouldn't have paid Kemba Walker 200 or whatever he wanted. He was supposed to get the super max. I wouldn't have paid that. I think they was right to let him walk. And then now that's why I said I think this is a really good situation for Charlotte that they have a piece like this on a great contract producing at this level. So he made my list. And then Bam, real short as we get to yours because we're running short on time here. Bam is averaging 16 and 10 basically with 4.6 assists from the center spot, power forward, whatever you want to call it.
Yeah, he's having a great season.
Great season. 59% from the field, only 11 from three, but he's shooting them more than Ben Simmons. And there's a chance to.
You just had to side that Ben Simmons.
I had to, bro. He drives me crazy. 68 from the line. That's down from 73.5, and 20.7 PER. I mainly put him on here because I do like Domantas Sabonis, what he's doing, but. Miami's second in the East, and I think he's a really big part of that. Obviously, you got Jimmy Butler. They got what's the dude from the D League? Nunnally.
Yeah, he's
playing
great basketball.
And then they got the boy from
Kentucky. I almost stuck him on my most improved.
Yeah. I mean, they Miami's known for developing guys and getting value out of guys that other
unheard
teams
of.
Right. So Bam's having a great year, and he's proven to be a foundational piece for a really good Miami team moving forward. So that's why it made my list.
Now mine, I'm gonna shorten mine up because we are really pressed for time. But I got Shai Gilgeous-Alexander on mine for a number of reasons. Because first of all, let's talk about OKC and where they stand in the West, which is
they balling,
has been the toughest conference, and
they balling.
Nobody expected them to be in playoff contention.
Nobody.
And with these numbers from this year to last year, it's pretty amazing. He was averaging 10.8 last year. Now he right at 20 points. So that's a huge jump. He's shooting the ball. Of course, he's playing more minutes, and he's shooting the ball fairly deep. Well, actually, pretty well. He's 46.8%.
Yeah, that's solid.
Yeah, that's
pretty efficient in the league.
3-point percentage is down a little bit, but still, right along the lines of where he's normally been shooting at 34%. Free throw percentage at 81. He's playing some great basketball. He's young, he's still upcoming. So I think this was really a breakout year.
No argument for me on that one. I love Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. I thought the Thunder got a great piece in that
Yeah.
trade for him with all those picks. And the Thunder are set up to really build something special there with all the picks they got. They're
Yeah.
like the new Boston. So
Yeah.
that's a great pick by you. I like that.
And next I got Fred VanVleet, which also again I like Fred VanVleet before he even became into this starter role. When I was watching him play behind Lowry,
Mm-hmm.
I was already impressed with the way he played basketball. His decision making, his ball handles, he can shoot it. He defends all the way from he was defending at a full court pace. So for me, I already kind of seen it, but this season he got the start. He's playing more minutes. His averages are up all across the board. He's up from 11 points to 18, from 5 assists to 7. So
He's killing, man.
yeah, I think he should. He's
I love his
another
game.
guy to be on the list. It's hard to make this list now, and I look at yours because
Right. I said the same
it's a
thing.
couple of guys I'll take off yours, and then last but not least, because we already talked about Siakam, is Jaylen Brown, and his numbers are up too, more minutes, and that's the Kyrie effect.
I was
we
about to
talked
say,
about.
is that the Kyrie effect in there?
Well, it's also about opportunity.
Agreed.
Like Devontae, he was
Agreed.
given a chance to play more minutes, and he
Agreed.
just took
Agreed.
he shined.
Every player
Yeah.
needs minutes to do what they do.
Another thing about Jaylen Brown, let me mention this: like he a two-way player.
Yeah, he is.
He plays on both sides
He
of the
locks
ball,
up.
which that's a rarity in the NBA for
Agreed.
guys to defend at a high level like they
Mhm.
play offense. So again, that's one of the reasons that I picked him, and his team's in the playoff contention. So with that being said, let's narrow this down. You give me your four from both sheets, and then we can call it a wrap. Let me go first because you look like you finna be indecisive about
Oh
your.
man, that's tough.
I'm gonna go with Adebayo, Siakam, Shai Gilgeous. I ain't putting Doncic on mine.
Oh, see.
I said I ain't putting him on mine. He gonna
Okay.
be in the MVP running. If he
Okay.
if he's not in the MVP, we don't even need this list.
Okay.
If we wouldn't need a list
I
of
feel
Doncic
you.
in there, because
Okay.
who gonna get MVP if Doncic on the most improved checklist? Doncic.
Why can't? Okay. You're
I'm
right.
saying it wouldn't. We don't need a list.
Is that even possible? I wish somebody could check that for us. We should open up the comments. Somebody check that. Is that possible to get both?
No.
Okay.
It's
If
not.
it ain't possible, then all right, I'll take them all. Okay.
And Jaylen Brown. That's my four. So I just took Adebayo off yours, and
All right.
Siakam,
All right.
Shai, and Jaylen.
Okay.
Who you got?
In no particular order, I'm keeping Bam just because they're second in the East, which nobody saw. I didn't see coming. I didn't think they were going to be second. I would take Shea off of your list. I really like his game, bro. Super efficient. He's a winner to me. Was a big part of that 48 win Clipper team last year. I'm keeping Devontae though. I just like the story. I like the guy. He just basically, like I said, second round pick, had to fight his way into the league, got his opportunity and seized it. So I'm keeping him. I'm riding with Brandon Ingram.
He forcing it.
Let's go New Orleans.
He's forcing it.
Let's go New Orleans. I mean, I gotta get this man.
He does
had a
average
tough-
26 points a game.
Bro, it was this man came coming from a tough situation playing alongside Bron, all that scrutiny, people, he was under a microscope and, got a fresh start somewhere. He took, not to mention the injury the man came off of, talking about maybe it was career threatening or whatever. I'm happy for Brandon. Maybe I can't really argue with any of the players you put on there, but to narrow it down to four is tough. So that's what I'm rolling with, bro.
If he don't get in playoff contention, he ain't getting most improved. I mean, if he don't make the playoffs, everybody on my list is playoff
halfway
guaranteed.
through.
They guaranteed.
Check back with me at the end of the year, and then we'll see. I'm talking about right now. They 4 games out, bro. With all the injuries, that's you can't.
I got a question though. This ain't on our before we close it.
All right.
Can if what's the boy name? The left hand jump, the new one. What we was just talking about.
Bazemore?
No, for New Orleans. Who out?
Oh, Zion?
If Zion come back,
You better remember Zion's
can he
name.
win Rookie of the Year if he ball out the rest of the season?
And they go to the playoffs?
Yeah, but I'm saying
Tracy
he only
McGrady
played
and them
half.
had this debate. T-Mac said no. I say, oh, that's tough, though. You miss half the year, bro. Because it's kind of the same situation with Joel Embiid and old boy Brogdon.
Mm-hmm.
I thought Embiid was straight dominant in his little games he played.
So what?
I can't really. I don't know. If he come back dominating and impacts winning, I say give it to him. But you know that's a whole nother show.
Yeah. I was curious.
Ladies and gentlemen, we're gonna wrap this up. Teddy, appreciate you coming out, brother. Always good to see you, man.
No problem.
And yeah, hope y'all enjoyed that. We out.